country is a lot of innovative potential, and being here at this technical university is a joy for me because you have so much untapped human capital to work on these issues. And I think I could, by talking to some of the students, I just felt that they were very much in the mood to solve the problems of the future, to deliver the solutions that the future needs in energy. Perhaps if we define emission taxes, we get some control over it, so that those who emit CO2, those who emit NOxes pay taxes. Then probably we could sort of start putting a lid on the pot, if you like. So I would say through taxation, through very clever taxation. Right now, Iceland is 82% renewable in its energy, and if the only sort of non-renewable energies we're using in Iceland is for the powering the transport fleet, cars, also the ships and the fishing boats, etc. Of course, the airplanes, and we have plans now in Iceland to try to take the transport fleet as much to electricity as possible. And I would say this is a very interesting prospect to try to bridge the gap from 82% to 100% by powering, first starting with the cars, and then of course we have to start, the most challenging thing will be the airplanes. They will be the last, I think, but in the meantime lorries and big cars will probably have to be, I think we will have to wait for some sort of a fuel cell system, hydrogen, but electricity before then. And soon I think we will be seeing Iceland 90%, 92-3% renewable, which is by far the highest in the world. I'm in fact very excited about the development of algae, what was mentioned at the meeting. And algae development, I'm watching it very carefully, because that is also very close to how oil and gas are produced by nature. So I'm excited about that development, to look at the algae production. But then on the other hand, I think we should really watch the development of designer fuels, which I was mentioning to you. And may I just mention once more that in Iceland we are producing methanol from just CO2 from a geothermal borehole, plus water, plus electricity. So we are simply making an artificial methanol from that pathway. The problem with hydrogen, I have to be very technical now and tell you that hydrogen fuel cells, they take us from one era of energy usage. It's called the Carnot era, to a new era called free energy era. And in order to use the free energy era, we have to utilize fuel cells. And I can tell you one important thing: no car company in the world is not planning hydrogen and fuel cells for the future. So the problems we in science have to, and technology have to face, is that we have to be able to somehow store hydrogen more effectively, and that is the biggest challenge facing us now, because fuel cells are a reality. Making hydrogen like we do in Iceland from electrolysis means that you let electricity split the water into hydrogen and oxygen. That is still an expensive process, unfortunately. We've done tests in my home country with buses based on fuel cells, and I still believe in that methodology. And if you take together the twin car operation, with both, you use the braking power to make energy, and then so if you can combine battery power, braking power and fuel cells, that is my future.